Yes, sir. What's poppin', man? It's your boy, OK Bet, aka K Trades, man. We back with another one, man. You know what's going on. Every trade today went 100%. Easy work, man. Every single trade we called today went 100%. Right? Some of them, obviously, didn't hold all day, but unfortunately, but a lot of them went 10x, 5x. Ugh, it hurts. It does hurt, but you know the rules, man. You hit your levels. We play level to level. You get your money, you get up out of there. You feel me? You get up out of there. So yeah, man, it was pretty simple today. All we did was just dip buy. We talked about this yesterday's video. Any dip buy over that 748 area, previous day's high, you gotta go long, right? And overnight we kind of watched a little, almost look like a double top, and it dumped right at the open. But we've seen this play out many times before, right? You never fall for that open and move, right? Always watch it, be patient. So in the first 15 minutes, all we needed was pre-market high. We said, look, already in. I got in a few here already. Said, look, go pre-market high. We're going long. 753, 754, 0 DTs. Literally 15 minutes later, we're already in the money. A little bit later, those are already in the money. I just kept rolling out because it's just easier to play that way, right? Once you kind of get the money and stuff like that, you can leave a runner, but you just never know in these kind of markets, right? You mess around, be in the money, and then the next candle like this, So I rolled out a few days out. I did some 1DTs, 2DTs, and kind of just let them, just kind of print and just kind of kept rolling. When they went in the money, I had 756s, those went in the money, 757s, those went in the money, and then I just went straight to 760. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna keep buying these contracts. So I just rolled and kind of left them and let them be. All right, so end of day, right? We kind of approached major resistance level. We haven't been up here in a long time, and the last time, look, we broke down, retest. What happened? We had a crazy dump from here, right? So we're back at that level. So I didn't swing anything. No swings for me. I know it's earnings week 2. I think Palantir just had PLTR. Yeah, Palantir just had a nice move. All right, I'm probably not gonna play any earnings. Maybe not. I don't know. Today was a pretty good day. So I don't know, man. We'll see what we can roll over some of those profit. But almost up 10%. But you know how earnings are. We can see this, and then magically overnight, it erases the whole move. We've seen it happen multiple times. We've gotten burned so many times. Or vice versa. You'd be like, dang, it's not gonna hit, and then the next day it hit. So you really never know. Honestly, it's all a gamble. Meta reacted good today off its golden pocket. Google's one I missed. I'm upset I missed because it gapped over my trigger. So unfortunately, I didn't see this at all on Friday. But it is what it is, and then it just kept gapping up today. So man, talk about a breakout retest, right? Came all the way back inside this channel. Crazy, all the way back inside the channel just to break back out again and just absolutely fly. But it's cool though, because sometimes when these things fly, bro, they just go. Like sometimes they go, sometimes you have weeks like this where they don't do anything, right? And then you have weeks where they just hot stove reaction go. So hopefully this is one of those, and we can get back over that 375, basically the same level that we had what was this, mid-July, right? Remember we played this because we played the initial bounce on Google. So we got that gap right there at 376.50. So if you get above that, right, hold, you might be able to get a little push up to these upper, next upper gaps, 385. So, take everything as is, you play it day by day, because as we can see, there's a lot of things, right? A lot of things can go either way very quickly, right? This was pumping up here at this point. Remember we said, hey, the only way you can go long is if this breaks out and you go like that. If not, you have to play your levels, right? If it's not breaking anything, then you can't, you can't play the break. If it's not break, you can't anticipate a break. My fault. You can be like, okay, cool, it looks like it's gonna break, but if it doesn't ever actually break, you can't really just be, just throwing your money away. What else? Oh, Apple had a nice little gap down, I believe. Yeah, or a gap up technically, but it rolled back over. But Apple was one of those ones where it just kept climbing, inside this channel. And then that day we did have the gap down. What day was it? I think it was like 2 Fridays ago. Was it? Oh no, this was Thursday. Sheesh, my time is all discombobulated. I took some time off, but yeah. So little gap down now underneath at 310 level, right? Remember we talked about that. Anything under that, you got to watch for 300. Anything under 300, look, you see how we kind of rolled. Boom, came down to 375. Anything under here, right? You could buy it, you could wait and see, right? We'll just have to wait and see how everything plays out, because yes, we did kind of get a breakdown retest, but this could be a double bottom, right? You have to see follow through, right? If it's still inside of certain levels, then you can't really call it breakout or breakdown, right? Obviously, this was a breakaway, bearish all the way down here, but we're still inside of this larger move. So who's to say whether we go up or down from here, right? That's what I'm saying. Like we're in the middle, so you have to get a lot more macro when you're playing inside of larger overall levels. Even with SPY, right? SPY, we hit our megaphone target today, right? I think we talked about this I think it was not last week, probably the week before. No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think it's when we started peeping it last week and the week before, right? We had this kind of megaphone pattern. We bought calls down here. Didn't swing, unfortunately, because we had already gapped. I mean, this was FOMC, so I didn't swing any calls into this. But the next day, we ended up buying into it. And then, of course, today, we just targeted upside target, right? And we had 3 gaps to fill. We only filled 2. My fault. We still have this one up here all the way up to, parade, all the way up to 759, 760. So this is why I wanted to swing to 760, but I just don't want to jump the gun. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm staying cash. Good day today. Beautiful way to start the month. Beautiful way to start the week. Just a beautiful Monday in general. So, type that megaphone, right? So whether this is a bullish megaphone or a bearish megaphone, we have to break above, retest, and then let's say we gap up tomorrow. We would have to gap and hold this level and then push up to, new all-time highs, because we almost out of the range, but we're not fully out of the range just yet. So we do have, you see that bigger range. But when it does break, right, when we do get this, because remember, consolidation leads to expansion. So whether this be another trap, right, it could be earnings could be absolutely terrible and Iran, blah, blah, blah. We just never know. And we could be back down here in 3 days, right? Because last time we thought this was the one, didn't happen. Last time before that, we thought it was the one, didn't happen. And of course, the first time we thought it was the one, didn't happen. So, that's what I mean by not jumping the gun. Like, of course, it looks good. I want to swing. I just want to, bull, like I said yesterday in yesterday's video, I love bullish things. It's easier to just buy the dip, right? It's just easier that way. But, we're top of the range. So be very careful going into this. Let's look at my other chart that I have. This is one I use daily with with my chat and stuff like that. So previous day's lows, right? Let's go ahead and get tomorrow's levels situated. All right. Previous day's highs. Bang. We'll get rid of this one. And then previous day's close. All right. So those are going to be your main levels to watch for tomorrow, right? We've already kind of broken out of this. You could call we've been calling it a wedge, pennant, whatever you want to call it, but it's still not really confirmed just yet, right? Because it does look good, but you have this kind of tighter wedge right here. But if you want to go wick to wick, technically it's this right here. You feel what I'm saying? So I still would prefer some sort of confirmation pullback over 755, right? Because we did have a slow day today, so it's just a slow grind up. The volume, it was good, but it wasn't, this is declining volume as we move up, right? So we could get trapped up here. We could be chilling just for a little small bit pullback. You never know, right? So just be careful, be patient. Remember, this is the daily time frame, so we're gonna have to wait till the next daily candles close to kind of confirm or not whether this is change the color, so we don't get them confused. There you go. You know what I'm saying? So that way you don't want to get too confused and just kind of be, just be making up stuff. So 757, we don't really need that one. So yeah, previous day's low would be today's low. All of a sudden, when I want everything to stick, the magnet's off. That's crazy. There you go. So yeah. All right. Yeah. So previous day's highs, previous day's close. That main level is 758. We talked about this for a while. If this does seem to hold, if it looks good, then we gotta do what we gotta do. All right. We don't argue with levels. Even if we have a crazy pump day, who knows? We could have another, crazy pump day where it goes $10, right? We don't know. And we can't say that it doesn't, it's never happened, because it's definitely happened before. We've definitely had days where we gapped up. We finally broke away from a range. I mean, come on, look at this. All right. Broke away from a range, took a few days and just kept going, right? Consolidation, dipped, and then took off, right? So it is possible that we can be in a range and then gap and go for a few more days. So, we'll see how it plays out. We'll watch volume. We'll watch the VIX, of course. Remember, the VIX, it went down, but it didn't go down as much as you would think, especially with as bullish as today was. Kind of like just slow grind up type of day. So the VIX didn't really dump how you would think, right? You'd expect it after a green day like that. You'd expect something like this. You know what I'm saying? Just straight plummeting. But it really didn't, and it kind of got a pop into the close. So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to swing no calls, right? Same thing with the dollar. Dollar was green today, so we'll see how this all plays out. But anyway, it goes. We're wrapping up around 10 minutes, so be patient. This is simple, right? Don't complicate it. It's as complicated as you make it. If you complicate things, complicated things will happen. If you simplify things, then you can only have simple reactions, So let's keep it simple, man. Let's have a good day tomorrow. Make sure our mental health straight. Make sure y'all keep God first. And love y'all. And miss y'all, man. I know it's been a while, but trying to get back on track. But yeah, hopefully we get this bullish move, man. Get out of this range, bro. I'm tired, bro. I'm so tired of the chop and the range. This has been nuts, bro. Like, look at these daily candles, bro. This is disgusting. Like, look at this, bro. Look at this. This is absolute garbage. Look, this is the first time I feel like we might get out of that June 5th range, bro. Look, we've been inside that June 5th range forever. So we might actually be out of it, man. So hopefully if we are, we can just swing calls and just act like nothing ever happened, right? But if not, it's what it is, And yeah, that's about it. Follow me on the gram. All links are in the bio, of course. You know where to find me. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Hope y'all bank today. Hope y'all start the month green. Remember, compound. This is not a race to get rich. You're not going to just get rich tomorrow. It's not how it works, It's not. A lot of people ask me when I do mentorships, like, how fast do you think I can be profitable? Gang, that depends upon you, Some people it took them 10 years. Some people it took them, 2 years, Some people it took them 6 months before they figured it out, right? Everybody's different. There's no one size fits all. There's no magic time frame. I can't tell you like, hey, you do this for, 2.5 years, 8 days, it's gonna click. Nah, it's just, everybody's journey is different. It depends on you, So that's why I try to simplify things, because if you can just keep it simple and remember the goal is always long term, right? Short term goals are cool. Today's win, beautiful, Not gonna lie, but I still would rather have, consistent wins over time. So, even if it is a little smaller than I would have made if I'd have just held everything, of course. But we all have those days where we're like, oh, I should just held everything. But, if you do have those days, it'll kind of force the next day you do think like this, it might not go that way at all, right? You might get a day where you're like, damn, I didn't hold that one day and it went. And then it'd be a day like this where it's dumping, and you're just holding. And then you come back and somehow it flip green, So you just never know how things might play out. So, never just compare your success to anyone else's. Never compare your success to your own, previous wins. Like, oh, well, I had a $500 day yesterday. Let me make a $7, don't do that. You just take day by day, have fun with it, keep it simple, and, it'll be simple. We got our trades out quick today, right? It was done in the first hour. I was watching Spider-Man. I was in here watching Spider-Man again. I said, hold on, we gotta, what I'm saying? We chilling, bro. I was in here watching Spider-Man. But, yeah, go touch grass, get off these charts, and enjoy time with your people you love, with your family, all that good stuff. Never neglect that, because that's all you got at the end of the day. So that's going to be it. I'll see y'all. Hit me on IG, aka OKBet. Out. Peace.